Hey everybody, good evening. I'm bringing this video a little late to you today because it is of importance. It has been brought to my attention that Miya Marcano is missing and her family is desperately looking for her. The last time she was seen was September 24th. Also, unfortunately, the person of interest in her case unalived himself yesterday. She's only 19 years old and her mother and father are desperately seeking answers about her disappearance, which was under suspicious circumstances. The press conference that her family did yesterday was very informative. Let me know what you guys think.
Miya, we feel you. We can feel you in our spirits. And I'm asking you to hold on. Send us a signal. Tell us where you are. We're coming.
Name is Kaylee Sue. First name Caili, last name Sue, Sue.
What's your relationship?
Miya is my little cousin.
Okay, right now, can you tell us how you're feeling?
Right now I'm determined and I'm still very hopeful that we're going to find her. I'm starting to feel a little bit tired. We've been going nonstop since Friday. Not tired of searching, just physically tired. But other than that, it's really just I'm just determined to find her.
Listen, I have to ask you this. I know it's tough, but they said they found blood on her pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Now the guy that was kind of pursuing her killed himself. When you heard stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
what did you think?
I was angry when I heard that he killed himself. I think it was a cowardly act. If you were involved in any way, we've been reaching out to so many places and so many people, asking for anyone with any information. If you saw her, if you spoke to her, if you didn't do anything, why didn't you reach out in that time? Why didn't you say something? There was contact information. Before we even left Broward County, we had already created a missing person post and we're spreading it on social media so that way word would get out to keep on the lookout, and hopefully we would have gotten an update on our way up. So I was really angry, especially because if he knew anything, he took that information with him. He could have told us something, given us a lead or anything. He could have just told us if he knew anything, if he had seen her, or left a note. So I think it was a cowardly act, and it was disgusting.
Can you talk to us today about what's happening today?
Today we are meeting up here at this closed down Ruby Tuesday to get as many people as we know that are able, and whether they are coming up from South Florida. We have family that's coming down from Canada, family that's flown in from the islands to come look for Miya. Because there are so many of us, and we know that there are so many police that are also searching for her, we figured the more we can get out there, the better. And we have some ideas. I heard that one of my cousins has a map and would like to just divide everyone so that way we're not all searching just in one area. Or if there's a large area, we can all split up in the large area. So I'm just waiting on them to come over from the hotel. They were all just getting ready and grabbing their things, and then they're going to come over, because there's also people that we're not related to that are looking for her, like her peers. Some of her neighbors came over asking, where can we help? Where can we look? Where's this search party happening? Because they did have a command center set up yesterday. They're like, I want to look for her. And I told them, come back tomorrow, 8 a.m. We're going to figure out what we're going to do. So I know that there's a lot of people that are ready to look. We just have to see who they are and figure out where we're going to put them.
Can you talk to us about the what she may have told some family members or friends about this guy? And do you wish maybe more had been done if she had expressed an interest expressed her, the fact that she was uncomfortable?
Of course, if she had told me, she didn't mention anything to me, but if she had told me anything, I would have done everything that I could to find out who he is, why he's bothering her, anything like that. Some of her friends did mention that she told them that he was texting her excessively, and she had asked him to stop. And he did stop, and then he started back up again. And she did tell them that he made her feel uncomfortable, but I don't know that she went to, I know that they're all over 18, but she didn't necessarily go to like what we would consider a real adult. Somebody like a person of authority, maybe her manager, or even talking to me, to her dad. to any of us, because we would have done something to, even if it had been, we're going to come up here and just talk to him ourselves and say, what's going on? Why won't you bother her or bring her home? Anything like that.
So you don't know if she spoke to your manager or anything like that?
No, I'm not sure.
Talk to us about the last time you spoke to her. You said that you guys Snapchatted, you guys texted, you guys were on constant conversations every single day.
Mm-hmm. I Snapchat Mia every morning, and she snaps me back. We say good morning, use whatever sticker is available on Snapchat that morning. Usually talk about dreading having to go into work, and she's always like, I hate being an adult. And I'm like, you're barely an adult. You can't hate it already. She was kind of having a hard time at work. She didn't necessarily specify. They were short staffed. There was a lot going on, and with that, management was under a lot of pressure. And so she would always say, I don't want to go to work today. I'm just tired. I'm tired of working and whatever. So throughout the day, we usually Snapchat kind of at those like milestone things, or if something happens. So it's good morning. This is what I'm eating for breakfast. Oh, this is what I'm eating for lunch. What are you up to? What are you doing? And if my nephew is with me, I always send her snaps of him. She loves my grandma. So if Nana's doing anything in the yard or says anything funny, it's updates all throughout the day. So when I went to do my nails in the late afternoon, evening, I did send her a Snapchat because I was walking, when I got dropped off to do my nails, and I was walking home. Typically I have my car, but we're down a car in our family, so I knew that she would think that was comical, because any type of thing that's out of the ordinary for me, she's just like, these things only ever happen to you. So I sent her a Snapchat because I was like, hey, look at me, I'm walking home from doing my nails. Have you ever seen this before? And she didn't answer. At that time, it was still when she should have been at work. So I didn't think it was that strange. I was like, maybe she's just busy at work, but I'll hear from her soon. And I didn't. So then I figured maybe she's just busy because it was Friday. She could have been planning to go out. She could have been doing anything. But then my aunt reached out and asked if I had heard from her. And she did let me know at that point that she was supposed to be flying home and she hadn't heard from her yet. So I said, okay. And we just started to kind of figure things out. But in that moment when my aunt called me, her voice was a little bit shaky, and she did say, she said, I think something's wrong. And we're a family that we have a lot of faith, and we're very spiritual. We believe in, like feeling things. We trust our gut. And especially when it comes from an aunt, from a mom, from a grandmother. If we're going, I'm going on a trip, and my grandma says, I had a bad dream, I'm not going on a trip anymore. It's canceled, because I know that that's like some type of bad vibe, bad energy. So when my aunt, she always has very strong feelings about a lot of things. Not only Mia, but she's very deeply connected to Mia. That's Mia's grandmother. They speak all day long. If she's not in constant communication with her dad, she's always talking to her grandma, to her mom, to her brother, to me. So when she told me that, that's when I started to feel a little bit of a heaviness, because of course we wanted to think that maybe Mia's phone just died, or she just fell asleep or something. But when she mentioned that, she said, okay, we're going to figure something out. Let's see, maybe, and we did think, we said maybe her phone did die and she got on the flight, and then you're flying so you can't text, and then she's just going to show up at the airport. So my aunt did go to the airport, to Fort Lauderdale airport, looking for her to see, like, did she come in? We checked with Southwest, did she check in at all? Because everything is tracked with your ID. So, but no, we didn't see anything, and once we realized that we didn't know anything like that, we had to come up to Orlando.
You guys have been here since Friday.
We came up on it was technically Saturday morning. We were here at 3:30 in the morning on Saturday. Absolutely.
So you're going to be searching the wooded areas, hoping
To find her. Maybe she could be like in and out of consciousness and unable, or maybe she was disabled in some way if she was hurt and she's not able to get out of where she is. So we're going to look for her, to find her and help her come home.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say, I don't know much about Mia. Can you tell me, was she funny? What was she to you? Was she funny?
Mia is, she's always very happy. She's very funny. And it's so funny seeing so many people share pictures of her that I may have seen before, but seeing pictures of her when she was little, and she's always been joking. I'm always in tears laughing with her all the time. Like, it's so bad that my mom and my sister sometimes are like, okay, if we're going to stay somewhere in a hotel, they're like, you guys have to have your own space, because I can't deal with the giggling, because we're always laughing.
How's grandma, mom, and dad, aunts?
They're still very hopeful. hopeful, and they're also determined to find her. And they, like, I feel like right now they're just like what else can we do? We're working with the police and asking them what areas can we check, how can we help you help us.
And can you tell us the flight Friday, was it to go home to visit family? Had
Yes.
it been planned far in advance?
It wasn't planned far in advance. In the week, Miya had reached out to her grandmother and to my cousin. She also reached out to me, asking if we wanted to come to Orlando to come visit her. At first, I didn't think anything of it, because more recently she did tell me that she was missing home a little bit and that she felt like she was missing out on a lot with my nephew, her godson. He's 1 year old, and just seeing him develop so quickly, she's like, I feel like I'm missing out on Enzo. I'm going to send him some toys. She did send him a package to my house on Friday, and as I was walking out of my house, the package was there. I gave it to him, and my sister texted her to thank her for the gifts that she sent, and she didn't receive a response either. So when my aunt reached out to me, I reached out to my sister. I said, did Miya text you back? And she said, no. I reached out to her, and when she didn't answer me, I thought it was kind of weird. So, I'm sorry, I forgot exactly what your question was.
That's okay.
How far in advance is it?
Yeah.
When are you guys gonna give up?
No,
When are you guys
absolutely
leaving?
not. Absolutely not. Mia's a fighter, and we're going to fight for her until we find her. But you said how far in advance? She did ask us to come up, but all of us had pretty busy schedules, so then my aunt did offer for her to fly down. Her brother was working in Orlando that week as well, so we were trying to coordinate with him, like, can you pick her up and drive her down? You'll have company for your ride, and we'll save money on a ticket. But their schedules weren't really coordinating very well, so my aunt just figured, okay, I'll just fly her down. So she bought her a ticket. She communicated with her throughout the day. I bought your ticket. At that point, though, Miya had reached out to some of her friends as well, saying, do you guys want to go out later? So I feel like she was just trying to have something to do, whether it was that she was coming home, but she was working, and her friends were also working. So they were probably still going to coordinate plans later in the evening. So some of them did reach out saying, no, Miya wasn't supposed to come home. And I was like, no, Miya was coming home, because my aunt also texted her and said, Miya doesn't have a driver's license and she does not have a car. So she reached out and said, how are you getting to the airport? And she said, oh, just Uber. So she said, okay. Whenever Mia's going to Uber, she lets somebody know I'm getting in an Uber, watch my location. So it wasn't planned far in advance, but it was a couple hours earlier in the day that her flight was booked.
Has your roommate said anything for a while?
I'm sorry.
Has your roommate
Let me
said
ask you to
anything
sort of look in the center.
disappearance or anything of value?
Her roommate, she just let us know the communications that she had with her. She told us that she spoke to her early in the day and that they were making plans to possibly go out. And yeah, she's been very helpful in this as well. She was the one who gave us access to her apartment when we got here, and that was at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was in constant communication with her as well. As soon as my aunt reached out to me, I reached out to her on Instagram. I said, hey, have you heard from Miya? She said, no, not since earlier, but I'm at work. And I said, okay, can you let me know when you get home, just in case maybe she fell asleep or something? And she said, yes, absolutely. And she did let me know when she got home. And then when we made it here, she came back to let us into the apartment.
Just the one roommate?
I'm sorry?
Just the one roommate?
She has one roommate.
When you went to the apartment, had the police already been there?
They had.
And what did it look like to you?
It didn't look like there was any investigation done.
But had it look like there was, I know, I think her dad was saying it looked like there was a struggle. Is that how it looked to you?
So to get into her room, you need a key fob. And so it didn't look like there was any forced entry from the front door. However, when we went into her bedroom, which has another lock on it, but it was open, Miya has significant pieces of jewelry that she wears all of the time. She doesn't ever take them off. Even if it doesn't go with what she's wearing this jewelry. She has a necklace with a nameplate that says her name. And she has another necklace that her dad and stepmom got for her that has it's gold and it has a heart charm on it. When we walked into the room, the heart charm chain was on the ground and it was broken. It wasn't like it was like the clasp was open, it was just broken. And then Mia's room is always meticulous. Our family is very serious about cleaning and making sure that you make your bed every day. Her grandma has instilled that in her and she always makes her bed. I helped her to pick out the decorations for her room. this year. So I bought the majority of the stuff in her room for her. And so I knew what her bedroom looked like. I bought it for her, and then she just paid me back. But we coordinated so I could decorate it for her. And she sent me a video and a picture. She said, look at my room, at her pillows. She had, like, of course, your sleeping pillows and your decorative pillows. And then, most importantly, Teddy, her little teddy bear, who goes everywhere with her. Teddy goes with her to work. Teddy goes with her on vacation. Teddy's gone on vacation with other people when he needs time for himself. Teddy is a major key. So when we went in and her bed was unmade, pillows kind of in a disarray, and no sign of Teddy, we were like, kind of weird. Just her things in her room were kind of scattered. Miya also doesn't wear shoes into her room. She has a carpeted bedroom, and there was like dirt on the carpet, so we knew that there was something off.
Did it seem like there was a struggle in the room or something happened?
Yes, because her jewelry was on the ground. She has some bangles that her a family member got for her, and she has a lot of bangles. However, 2 of them were thrown on the floor and kind of stretched out.
That must have been really tough to see.
Yeah.
And the roommate wasn't here during this?
No, she was when we got there the second time, she was there, and she was there when the police were there the first time. But she was working until the late evening.
And what's your message to the public as you work to get the word out?
Please just don't give up hope, and continue to pray for us and pray for Miya, and pray that she's safe and that she's okay, and that she's not scared, and that she knows that we're looking for her.
Do you remember the last conversation you had with her?
It was in the morning when I talked to her about going to work. We just said like good morning, and she was like, yeah, I gotta go to work today. And I said, yeah, me too. I'm currently working from home, so I said I'm going to my kitchen table, and that was pretty much the end of that.
Listen, if somehow, some way Miya can hear you right now, if you want to look at the cameras and talk to her, tell her what do you want her to know?
I don't want to get very emotional. So, and I know that if I say something right now, I'm going to. So I would just rather not. It's just a personal choice. It's not that I don't, but Miya, we're looking for you. We're coming for you. And you keep holding on. Please hold on for us. We're coming.
Do you know anything about the contents of the messages between this man and her? Did any friends reveal some of the things that he actually said?
Just that he was infatuated with her. He was in love with her. I don't know the very specifics of it, but that he was constantly texting her, and then had left her alone, and then went back to texting her again.
And obviously they work together. Did she ever mention him like coming into the office and trying to talk to her face to face?
Not to me, and I haven't heard anyone else mention anything about that.
Does it make you angry that this guy didn't take no? Seems like he didn't take no for an answer and just
Absolutely, of course, yes. He, I'm a person that I'm very like straight and to the point. If I tell you no and leave me alone, you should do that. And when I don't, like, some people will say, oh, you should be persistent. I don't like that. And Miya is the same way. This person's annoying me. Like, I already told you no, leave me alone. And she's always very vocal about how she feels. She will tell them flat, like, if she's interested, not interested, she's just straight and to the point. No, I'm not interested. Leave me alone. She'll block you if she has to block you. Things like that.
Yeah, it's very clear. The sheriff did mention that, she turned him down a lot of times. I mean, there was clearly a sign that she did not want anything to do with this man.
Right.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Yeah, no problem.
so much. Thank
Of course. No, thank you guys for coming and for being here and covering this story.
Do you know where you're going to start looking at, or that's what you're going to figure out?
I'm not exactly sure. I know my cousins have different plans, because we were searching also last night as well. It was dark, and the areas that we're checking are like wooded. They're not well lit, so it would be better during the day.
Fine. Yeah, we may just kind of follow and just kind
No,
of
that's
do a
fine.
search a
Absolutely.
little
As soon as
bit.
they share the information, I can let you guys know.
I spoke with the aunt of Miya Marcano, who says not enough is being done, and now she is calling for the FBI to get involved in the search for her niece.
I'm calling on all resources. At this point, the FBI, we need you. We need you to look at everything, all substantial evidence that was provided so far.
Simone Westmas, Mia's aunt, calling for help. She says the day's search had them walking through wooded areas around the Arden Villas apartments and within a 30-mile radius.
Woodlands, rivers, lakes, bushy areas, dark areas, swamp-like areas.
Sky 6 capturing crews in orange shirts walking around the complex where the Orange County Sheriff's Office says Marcano was last seen. Some searching with canines and at one point appearing to search a storage unit. Sheriff John Mina giving only News 6 an update earlier today.
We are continuing our search efforts for Miya. We're asking anyone with any type of information, either about her or about the suspect that she had been with, who is now dead, to come forward with that information. Maybe they saw them together in a car. Maybe they saw the suspect's vehicle at one point in a certain part of town. That could help narrow our search efforts.
Those efforts may have also led Seminole County divers to Lake Monroe, Sky 6 capturing teams in the water this afternoon. When we asked the Seminole County Sheriff's Office if this was connected to the search for Miya, they directed us back to Orange County. Back at the apartment complex, residents remain concerned.
It makes me feel unsafe as a resident.
This big green poster reads, Arden Villas, it's your responsibility to keep your residents and staff safe. We hold you accountable. Now sits in the middle of candles left for Miya Marcano. Copies of this flyer blaming the company that owns the complex is being posted all around the community too. Just yesterday, Arden Villas Apartments manager sent out a memo talking about proactive measures to enhance their safety protocols, saying they've repositioned a guard to the front gate to document all residents and guests leaving the property. These women saying they haven't seen that yet.
I think that the gate stays open for about 5 cars to go through, so even sometimes it doesn't even make sense for me to scan my key fob.
Fox 35 News did not see a guard at the gate today, but there was a guard present during our live shots last night. Deputies said the person of interest in Miya's disappearance, maintenance man Armando Caballero, had used a key fob to enter Miya's apartment Friday, 30 minutes before she got home from work. Arden Villas says they've upgraded their maintenance procedures to allow for appointment-only booking.
His front, the passenger side.
New video shows a man who appears to match a description of Armando Caballero getting out of a car that matches the description from police of Armando's.
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
The man is seen carrying a blanket and a bag heading into a building. The blanket, families say, is Miya's.
Think of yourself if you were in our shoes. If you saw that video and you saw Miya's blanket, how would you react?
Miya's family says this video was shot the same morning Simone had a chilling encounter with Caballero.
He said, "Are you looking for Miya?" I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm the maintenance guy. I heard you're looking for me."
The search for the 19-year-old is intensifying as large numbers of investigators arrive at Arden Villas. Residents even received this email about a search of their garages and storage units. One resident tells Fox 35 she had to move her car this morning to accommodate.
It's been hectic. It's been scary. Everything that we've been seeing here just shows that we're not truly safe here.
Miya's family says they've been receiving numerous tips from the community and law enforcement. They have searched several locations, including wooded and swampy areas, and they're not giving up.
Today's that day where we got up upset. There hasn't been much crying at this point. We're just ready to bring her home, but we need everyone's help.
With everything that's been going on this week, I just have so many questions.